Hey there. Get
Hi,
my computer gallery. There it is. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good.
Such a beautiful day outside.
Yeah, not too bad at all. Not too hot.
Yeah.
Are you a gardener?
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah. I could do a lot more. There's
Well,
But lately in the past couple years I've kind of moved to pots
ah,
and do a lot of pots and of course
yeah.
yeah. So
That's such
that
a different kind of gardening, really.
exactly. Exactly. And yeah, we have some lilies that have like overtaken our front garden, unfortunately. So I got to tend to that, at the end of the season. What about
Mhm.
you?
I have a small property, but it's just given our weather and everything, it's just luscious. And so I have taken to spending the first hour or two of my morning in the garden in a different section. And it's very satisfying because I get some tangible things done early in the day.
Yeah.
And because there's always vines to pull, there's always flowers to deadhead, there's always something to do. And I fill up at least one bin every day. And
Wow.
yeah, but that keeps me sane because I love my garden. I love how it
Yeah.
looks. And when I didn't do this before, I just discovered this routine this year. I would think right about this time of day now, oh, I really need to get out there. And I think, I'm so hot, I'm so tired. So this is a much better solution for me.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Absolutely love flowers.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Here I'm going to here. Eli, we don't see you or hear you, but I know you're here because I see your name come up. Hey, Eli. Thanks for joining us. This is Jenny. I'm Anastasia, in case you all didn't know. This probably says it on the bottom of my screen. So we have four more people that I know plan to come, and there might be a couple more that didn't say. So Eli, how's your Sunday going?
It's going pretty good. How's yours?
Good, good. It's this is always a milestone for me to have the Zoom orientation meeting. It's like, wow, this is. I know it's all coming together, but it's really feels it. Hey, and hey, Harry, how are you? And welcome to the world of Montgomery Art Association.
I'm good, thank you. Looking forward to hearing about it.
Good, good. Three more people that signed up, but we'll get started in about 2 or 3 minutes so that we don't hold us up. And I'll first ask you to just introduce yourselves and have you been to a Paint the Town show, even as a viewer, and something about your background? But hello, Abby, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. We haven't really got started yet. We're just waiting for the last couple of people to sign on. I'm going to go ahead and get started because it's even only a minute in, but they can join us when they come. Um, I don't think this will take the whole hour, but I'm often surprised by things like that. Um, my name is Anastasia Walsh, and what I want to do with this hour is I'll introduce myself and relative to MAA, and I'll would like then just each of you to say, your name and a little bit of what kind of art you do, and if you've ever been to a Paint the Town show or what your involvement was with art shows. And then my objective is really for you to understand the flow of what it's going to take over the next month or month and a half to get ready for the Paint the Town show. What will be expected of you during that 6 weeks? What happens during the whole week, the 7 days that I call the Paint the Town show? And what to expect afterwards. So also, and please ask any questions during it. Feel free to raise your hand or interrupt and with a question, we'll handle them real time. And Arjun, welcome. We're just getting started. And okay, so let me introduce myself. I've been with MAA since 2017, and I almost immediately got on the board of directors. As often happens, I was probably a member for 2 or 3 months, and I was sitting in a member meeting and heard the conversation behind me saying that, isn't it too bad we don't have a treasurer? Our treasurer got sick, and we're going to have to go find a treasurer. And I said, "Oh, what system do you work on?" And they said, "Quicken." And I said, "I can do that." So I've been the treasurer since then. And a year later, I was asked to head up the Paint the Town show. And I have a pretty strong background in project management, so that came quite easily to me. And this is just a wonderful big project to me. And I have a great deal of fun with it. Love doing it every year. Um, and my art is somewhat unusual. I started out painting on glass and then moved into mosaic. And I often use old tools as the basis for my mosaics. So you might have seen at the Kentlands show this weekend, and they put something on Instagram. But much of my art is kind of unusual because I just do what I want to do. So I'd like to hear from each of you. Again, what kind of art you do, if you've ever been to a Paint the Town show or if your involvement with other shows. So, Harry, would you mind starting?
Sure. My name's Harry Perper. I'm recently retired from electrical engineering, cybersecurity realm. And right around COVID days, I sort of dove into woodworking and realized that sort of some of these things I'm making are artistic, could be considered art.
Mhm.
They're certainly useful in the house as well. So I've been making um, charcuterie boards that are of a 3D look to them.
Mhm.
Wanted to talk to you about, see if this is something that would be of interest to the to display at the PTT.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's the medium that I work in wood and beyond, the
Sorry.
cutting board to make furniture, that kind of stuff.
I have a dog that's just necessarily needing attention. But thank you. Yeah, just to respond to that, Nora, go lay down. Not doing it. Um, what we we don't have a space in our shows for like multiples. Like a lot of times, crafts, which are art, you tend to see ceramics or jewelry or leather or sometimes wood, as you'll see a whole table full by that one artist. And we don't have that in any of the MAA events. But you can bring, if say, for example, you participated in Paint the Town, and I think the 3D sculpture would be perfect, you would have maybe two or three pieces in that category, but they would
Mhm.
be kind of your one of a kind, and they could still be useful things, but you're representing them as art.
Yes.
So
Yep, that's fine.
that's fine. Okay, great.
I can
Well,
show you
thank
some
you.
examples when we get at the end, if you have
Yeah.
time.
Okay. And have you ever been to one of our shows besides the
No, I
Kentland?
haven't. I'm looking forward to doing that as well.
Great. All right, thank you. Jenny, would you be next, please?
Sure. So I'm Jenny Klein. I work in watercolors. And I've never been to Paint the Town show. I'm excited. I've never been. I joined MAA last fall, and I have been in the winery show, Spring Fest, and I've been in Brookside Gardens, and also at the gallery, the holiday market at the gallery and
Okay.
Westfield
Yeah,
Mall. Yeah.
right. Great. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Eli, would you go next, please?
I apologize if you hear the corgi barking in the background.
You heard mine.
I'm Eli, and I primarily work in oils and a little bit in watercolor, and I also do dry media as well, and that kind of thing. I have gone to one show, one last year's show. I got to do the plein air event, so.
Okay, great. So you've been in the building and you know what it looks like. It's always a for me the space where we're at in the Armory, which is a huge cavernous building that was built by the National Guard in the 1930s, is to me like if you've ever seen the movie Jesus Christ Superstar and you come and you set up and then you do the whole thing and then you take it down, and that's what our week looks like because it's an empty building until we get there. But seeing it is something. All right, thank you. Abby, how about yourself?
Hi. My name is Abby Frank. I'm an acrylic painter. I joined MAA in the spring. I'm in the Closer Look show right now.
Oh, good.
So this will be my first Paint the Town. I haven't been either, so I'm looking forward to it. The pieces that are going to be in that show are part of the series that I've been working on in the last few months. It's kind of like blending collage and painting. They're still lifes, and I'm like painting these objects and then collaging it onto a background, creating like a composition of a space. So I'm excited to be here.
Great. Thank you. Well, welcome. And it's quite an honor to be selected for a juried show as the Closer Look show is in Kentland. So
Thank you.
I haven't gone to see that yet. I wasn't at the reception the other night, so I missed that. All right, Arjun, and let me know if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly.
Oh no, Arjun is fine. It's
Okay. Well, tell me how you pronounce it.
I pronounce it Arjun. It's
Arjun.
yeah.
Thank you.
I'm
All
not
right,
really
and
sure, but
I'm sorry.
I'm not really particular about how people say it.
Okay, well, one of our members, Hiral, Hiral, and for years we've all called her Hiral, and she's never corrected us. And the same thing with another one person that I know, and I can't think of her name right now, but finally somebody said, she really goes by Hiral, and oh my gosh, years I've been calling her Hiral, so I don't want to do that. Like to pronounce your name the way you pronounce it, Arjun.
Yeah. Well, I'm Arjun and I work in oils and a little bit of tempera. And I kind of discovered art and my love for it through college, actually, just through optional classes I took. And this will be my first kind of big show like this that I'm attending. And
Great,
yeah,
great. Well, welcome all of you. All right, so a little bit of background. The MAA has been around since 1954 and became nonprofit in 1992 or 91. But the Paint the Town show has been around since the mid 80s. A woman named Bertha Klume, who we've named our top prize after. You'll see the Bertha Klume Award is our grand prize of the show. She was a resident of Kensington and a big supporter of the arts, and she started an art in the park for kids. And then they started welcoming adults. And then around 1987, they moved indoors, which is where we're at now, inside the Armory in Kensington. And Kensington co-sponsors this with us. They give us the use of the Armory for a week at no charge. And they also are one of our big donors for this event. So we have awards that for the people's art who's selected to win, and much of the awards are donated to us from vendors or people giving the money or in-kind things. Um, so Kensington is important to us. That's one of the reasons why we have a Kensington category. So all of the categories in this show were selected long before I was involved with it. And we've kept to it pretty much, except that we included now the 3D sculpture and photography. And some years ago, we also switched from having an artist invitational, which was intended to include the more professional artists who kept them sort of out of the competition with the rest of us. But we moved to student invitational, and in part because we give a scholarship to Montgomery College art department every year, and we have a good relationship with them. So we set up a student invitational. So they have a sort of separate category. But the Kensington category used to be required of everybody. Everybody could enter three or four other pieces, but that one of their pieces had to be a Kensington piece, meaning that you painted something that you identified as being within the Kensington zip code. And even if you're an abstract artist, you could do something and say, this is the Kensington Farmers Market, believe me. About 5 years ago, after much angst about how many Flynn fountains we needed and railroad stations at the Kensington train station, we decided to see what it would be like if we didn't require it. And it's gotten pretty good. We usually have about 30 pieces in the Kensington category, but it gets the top award still. So that's is another one of the things that draw. So that's just something for you to think about. Maybe you don't have that for this year, but think about it for the future years. Go and wander around in Kensington and think about creating some art for the town of Kensington. Or if you end up doing plein air this year, your plein air could be next year's Kensington piece involved in that. We've done that. So I think you might have seen that the categories, they're based on type. They're not on media, so they're landscape, portrait, still life, abstract, sculpture, as I said, and no, I'm missing some, but that's basically that. You will definitely, if you register, you can have two pieces of art. We ask you to submit a third if you want. We don't know if we'll have room for a third for each person, but we'll know by the end of registration. Um, so we are on open registration now through the 5th of August. And that will close at midnight the 5th. And at that point, then I will take assessment of how many people we have and how many third pieces we can have in the show. Last year, we had probably a third of the people got their third pieces in, and it was based on when you registered, how soon in this process you registered. From one of the things that we require from all of our participants is that you volunteer, and we have a sign up that once you register and you get a confirmation, that confirmation has a link to our volunteer sign up page. And nearly every shift is a 4-hour shift, and it's somewhere between the first day when we go get all of our equipment out of storage and then bring it over to the armory. And then another crew comes and sets it all up in the armory, all of the panels, all of the electrical cords, all of the light fixtures, all of the tables. We have a third crew that is there then to accept the art that's coming in and being checked in. We have another crew, actually a couple of crews, that will do the hanging the next day. And then we have a very small crew that works with the judge on Friday as the judge goes through and selects all the pieces that will be getting awards. Friday night, we have an artist preview. So all of you who will participate in the show can bring +1, or if you need to, +2. And it's a party to allow you to come see all of the art that's in the show before it's open to the public. It's only open for a couple of hours Friday night. That's just for us, but it's become a really lovely little intimate affair where you just get to know people on a more personal level. The public's not there. We have a lot of food to eat, and you get one glass of champagne if you want it. And you'll wander around. You'll see all the art that won awards because they'll have ribbons and just chance to get to talk to folks. The art show itself, the 3-day art show, then starts Saturday morning at 7 a.m. for me. We open the doors because the plein air group can come in. They can come in the night before too and register, but they can come in starting at 7 in the morning Saturday. And we sort of do our last minute walkthrough and get everything set up. We actually open to the public around 11. And Saturday is a pretty dynamic day. There's a lot going on. We find that our biggest buyers are in there on Saturday, the people that spend larger amounts of money. And we're, of course, open till 8 in the evening because we have our award ceremony that night, Saturday night. And our judge, Jen Bodette, who won the top award probably, I think, 7 years ago, she won the top award. And since then, even before that, she was an instructor, an art instructor, and well known in the art community. So she will be giving the presentation on Saturday night. Sunday is my favorite show day. It doesn't start till 11. We close at 5. We have a nice little jazz duo made up of Jenny Wilson, who's one of our artist members, and her husband, and they have a keyboard and a bass, and they play for about 3 hours, and it's really mellow. It's not that busy. It's just very nice. Nice day to work there, nice day to come, nice day to bring your friends, is what I like to say. And then Monday is a crazy day. So first of all, Kensington has a Labor Day parade outside of our doors, and they have a festival out in our parking lot. And so it's hard to get into the place. I usually end up parking. I get there really early so I can be in the parking lot, but I can't leave then, which is fine. If you get there anytime after about 8:30, you end up parking a little further away and walking in. But the beauty of Monday is that it's family day, and families come to that parade. And when the parade's over around 10, they pour into the armory and they buy cards and prints. They don't necessarily buy the big ticket items, but they buy the smaller stuff. We have a really great kid activity the whole 3 days, which is a scavenger hunt. And what that is they get to pick up a little scavenger hunt postcard at the beginning, and they go to every category, and we ask them to pick their favorite piece in the category and write it down. And then when they have their card filled up, they bring it back and put it in our bin, and we have a drawing every day for ice cream from one of the local ice cream shops. And that's proven to be an incredibly effective tool in getting the kids to feel like they're involved, and they grab their parents and say, "Come on, come on, come on, let's go see the next one," instead of feeling like they're being dragged around. And it's a very fun thing to watch, especially. Um, and Monday we close at 5. The show ends at 5, and people start coming to either pick up the art that they bought, because the art that's purchased stays there the entire time. Or if your art wasn't sold, then you can come and pick up your art. We continue that on Tuesday morning, and at the same time, we start taking it all down. And then by Tuesday mid-afternoon, we've all got everything back in our storage, which is over in right off of University Ave in Kensington. So that's our 7 days. They're long days for me, which I really love, and I really have a great time. Before I move on, let me pause and see what questions you have. Harry, you're on mute if you're.
I was going to ask about parking. Where I'm familiar with Kensington. Parking's difficult on a regular day.
Well, parking the only day parking is really impossible is that Monday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there's always parking in the parking lot of the Armory. And there
Okay.
is some streets parking as well, but there's very few times I've seen there not be. One year we had food trucks and they took up some of the parking, but we don't do that anymore. So there's usually parking, and especially because our people are coming and going in shifts. I haven't heard too many problems, but that that hasn't been a problem.
And Sunday.
Sunday is really easy.
Oh, okay.
It's Monday that's impossible because of the
Or
parade and
Monday, I guess, the day with
Monday
the parade.
they block off streets for one thing, and so that's why you can't even drive there. Block off streets for the parade. They block off streets for the festival, and they start taking the festival down about 3 in the afternoon. So it's the between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. that you can't even drive to the armory, and
Where do you suggest people look for parking
just in the neighborhoods.
in the neighborhood? Okay.
Yeah, there'll be easily read signs of "Don't park here" or "It's okay to park here." But
Mm.
I have occasionally had to park out in the neighborhoods too, and sometimes had a 15-minute walk to the army. If I tell people if they have disabilities that make that kind of walk difficult, to have somebody drop them off, if possible, or ask us, and we'll figure out a way to come get you.
Thanks.
All right. What's one of the things that's going to happen is um, all of the art needs, except for Harry, for the 3D pus things that are going to sit on pedestals, all of the art needs to be wired in the back to be ready to be hung on our panels. Art should either be framed or gallery wrapped. We have always set up a little table as we're checking people in with somebody that can wire your work if you didn't know how to do it. And we always have use of that person. And we've even had people show up with just a piece of paper thinking, not thinking it through about how they were going to have their artwork hung, including our students, which has been really interesting. Seems like something that Montgomery Art College doesn't train about framing and hanging. But your work should be ready to hang or to sit on a pedestal. It should have your own ID card in the back just so that we know this belongs to you. We will have a display label that has the name of the art, it has the media that it is, it has your name, it has the price, and it has the inspiration statement that we ask you to write. Now, the inspiration statement is find it really valuable. It's not a time where you say, "Well, I really wanted to do this because I wanted to try my new brushes." No, don't get technical. Talk about what inspired you. If you saw something, if you made it because you saw the I have two pieces that are going to be in there that are both octopuses that are made up of 11 or 12 saws. And what inspired me is I just love octopuses. I think they're amazing creatures and I wanted to show them. So that's the kind of thing because that when people come to look at our art, for the most part, they're bored if we start telling them how we made it. Don't tell them how you made it. Tell them what inspired you. And people, the everyday person will say, "Oh yeah, I can imagine that. I've been there. I've seen that sunset. I've been to that lake and seen that reflection. Oh, that really I can relate with that." And that's what you want to be able to do with that. So I think I have it down. It's about 25 words, it's or less. So it's a way for you to describe what inspired you. We also have, if you may or may not be at the point where you've made prints of your art or cards, greeting cards, but we have a whole section that we call the marketplace where we have bins holding prints that are for sale and also cards. I really have never got into prints because I don't feel like my 3D work lends itself towards prints. But I did end up making cards a couple of years, and that's been kind of fun. I found Michael sells a package of 20 cards that you can just print on your printer from the photos that you take of your art. And that's a kind of a cool thing to do. And oftentimes when I sell a piece of art, then I'll send a thank you note with my art on the cover of the card. But we have that as well, and we have bins that and card racks that can be shared as well. Some people bring their own. Starting after August 5th, though August 5th is the deadline. We close at midnight, and then the very next day we will open registration for that artist preview for the Friday night thing. And you'll get an email on August 6th from me saying, "Woohoo! This is how many artists we have. This is we will know in a couple of days how many third pieces you'll get. But here are some things you need to do. You need to make sure you sign up to volunteer. Here's the volunteer link again. Do sign up to attend the artist preview. It's very fun. It's free and great chance to get to see everybody's art. We'll remind you about uh, let's see, there's a preview, there's a printing. Oh, and we also, I think this won't be in the first email. I send about 5 emails between August 6th and September 4th. And they always have a number. So communicate 1, communicate 2, communicate 3, and they all have links for you to do something. And so it's those, I find that those are helpful, and the participants have found they're helpful. We have set up a drop-off sign-up time so that not everybody shows up at drop-off all at the same time. So that will be in the second email you'll get from me, probably around the 9th or 10th of August. And our drop-off is Wednesday afternoon and Thursday morning. And so you can sign up, and that's the 2nd and 3rd of August, or September. And so you'll get a link to go and sign up for a time. The same thing after the show is over, we will give you a way to sign up for a time to come pick up any unsold art and all of your things. You can make changes to your art or what you've titled it. You might even swap out a painting, particularly if you didn't get your third piece in and you decided you wanted your third piece instead of your second piece. You wanted to change your price. No problem. I won't start printing labels until about the 1st of September. So I tell people you can make changes up through about the 28th. And then I kind of like to settle down and hopefully you won't be making changes. But even if you made them on the 4th of September, I'm sure that I could whip out a new label for you. That's really not a problem. The thing is, we also put all of our art in for processing sales. We use the Square system, so we create a library of all of the art so that it's in the Square library for MAA. We handle all of the sales, MAA does, and this is the only show that we take the commission. All of our other shows throughout the year, the venue takes the commission. But we also, in all the shows that we manage the sales, we take the sales tax, we collect it, and we pay it to Maryland. So you don't have to do any of that if you sell your pieces. You will get 75% of what you set as the price. So if you can think about that in terms of when you're setting the price. And as treasurer, I can tell you I get the checks or Zelle or PayPal out to people who've sold their artwork easily within a month after the show, usually within 2 weeks. So you don't have to take too long to get your funding. Let me talk a little bit more in detail what happens. I mentioned that the first day we go to our storage unit. That's one of the jobs to sign up for, is going to the storage unit with our SUVs or our cars. We have a nice, comfortable storage unit where we store all of our panels, all of our light fixtures, bins full of things, and it takes us about 3 hours to bring all that over in about 2 trips. It's only a mile and a half away from the armory. If I think I can't remember if it was you, Eli, or somebody went to the Kentlands, not the Kentlands, the Windridge Spring Festival, And we use all of our equipment in that festival as well. It's another 3-day show in April. And so we come and set up there too. And so whatever you saw there is what we have at the armory. We use everything that we have in the armory. We empty out our storage facility, our storage room completely. The next set of volunteers that set up, we have a video that shows them how to do it. By the way, every volunteer gets an instruction um, document about how to do their job. So you're not just showing up not knowing what's expected. And every shift has a lead. So I'm usually around, but every job has a lead. So there's a lead of the people that bring the stuff over. There's a lead for setting up. There's a different lead for hanging, so forth and so on. And you'll get in advance, probably a week or so before the show starts, you'll actually volunteer instructions about what's expected of you. But we set up all the panels, and so there's a way to do that. And I have map views of where the panels would go and where the electrical will go and everything. And the same thing then, if you sign up for early shifts like that, either bringing the equipment or setting up, you can also bring your own art in, and then when you're done with the shift, check your own art in, so you don't have to make a separate trip. For some reason, checking in art is the most popular volunteer job there is. I'm not sure why, but it's already nearly full. I like the setup personally, and by the way, you can sign up for more than one volunteer shift. That's always embraced and always well thought of. So the volunteer checking in art is Wednesday afternoon and Thursday morning. Thursday around noon, everything has to be in, and the hanging crew gets to work. And it's quite the daunting thing. They hang the work or place it in the category areas. But they still want to make sure that it looks good. All the art looks good on a panel with the adjacent art. The labels are put up and then the names are covered up so that when the judge comes the next day, they don't know who the artist is. They clearly could read a signature if it's possible, but that's not really what the judge is looking for. Um, but and then I have found it's really important Thursday night before we leave, I have two people who are totally independent come through and they look to make sure everything is in the right place category wise, that everything has a label and every label is covered up because we're humans and we tend to have errors. So I want to have as few errors as possible. Friday morning, the judge comes, and one year the judge took 4 hours. Last year, the judge took an hour and a half. So I never know how long they're going to take. But we say they need to be done by 3 in the afternoon so we can start setting up for the party that night. And that's all of these are, except for the judge, we already have the people that will escort the judge, but everything else is open for volunteering. At the show itself, every day we have what I call a day show of manager. So Saturday, Jen Barlow will be the show manager of the day. Sunday, it's Jim Klumpner, and Monday, it's Alan Rich. We have 3 cashiers at every shift. We have 2 or 3 greeters at every shift, and they basically stand near the front door, welcome people, and answer questions. They direct people with families to the scavenger hunt table. We have lists of the artists and generally where their artwork is the category, and they might answer other questions. So we have that pretty much throughout the whole 3 days, those kinds of cashier, greeters, and people that also support the plein air area more closely. And then we have people that will set up for the award show Saturday night. That's a whole nother volunteer task. And then Monday evening and Tuesday morning, the pickup of art is another volunteer task. Cleanup is Tuesday morning and return to storage Tuesday afternoon. And if we don't get enough people for return to storage, which seems to be the least popular volunteer job, I have hired day workers to help us do that. We have crews to help us with that. So I think I've gotten through my list. Tell me what questions or ask what questions or what's unclear still.
I have a question. It's Jenny and Natasha. You mentioned that we can do shared print bins or shared card racks. So do we register that art, or how does that
No.
work?
So when you register, you'll say whether you want to share a bin or share a card rack. That just tells me that you want to participate in that. And then all those people that sign up for that, I contact them separately. I don't want to, we don't do an inventory of your prints and cards. What I do say is give me your price points. So most of your prints are $70 a print and you have a few prints that are $80 a print, those are your two price points because that's what I'll put in our payment system library. The same thing with your cards. There are a few people that I've worked with in the group that have a different price point for every single print, and I work with them too. That's okay. It's just a little more challenging, but that's all I need. If you're sharing a bin with prints, I generally tell you you can have about 8 prints at a time, and you can keep an excess number in a bag underneath the stage. And then if you come through during the weekend and want to check your inventory, you can add to your inventory. The same thing with cards. And all of that is our written instructions you'll get if you sign up to do prints and cards.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I was just going to say it all sounds extremely well organized.
Every year gets better and better, and I do a lessons learned after each one, and this year I also asked a small crew to tell me what to do better and different, and that's always my okay, I got interesting suggestions, and like add this or that different category of art, or why don't you have kosher food, and the different things that I had not thought of, and we'll give things a try. Um, but I learn every year, which is great. But thank you. I do think it's well organized, and it tends to be the common feeling, which is nice. I I pride myself on my project management.
Approximately how many artists are you expecting?
We had 220 last year, and I've set the max for 250 because if everybody had two pieces, that would be our 500 pieces of art. But there's always a large number of people that only submit one piece of art. Right now, we're only at 120 people, so we're not anywhere near the 250. So we'll see how it goes the next 10 days. And um, I can relax about it because whoever signs up is who signs up, is who comes. And by the way, the prices we have had in the past artworks everything from as low as $50 to $5,000, and we've sold $5,000 pieces of art. Not often, but last year, right at the end, one that was nearly $4,000 sold. That was on a Monday at about 4:30 in the afternoon. Somebody came and it was a very, very big piece. She couldn't even get it in her car. She actually called an Uber and had the art brought home in an Uber. So, what other questions? And you're welcome to email me anytime. I, I don't answer midnight emails, but I do pretty promptly answer in the daytime. I've learned to have some boundaries about my email responding.
If we already registered and we decide that we want to do prints, is that something we're still able to do?
Yeah,
Um,
just send me a note. Just send
okay.
me an email and I'll make that change.
Okay.
Easy enough. And I want to encourage you, think like me and think about how you might, when I know Eli's looking at volunteering as our social media chair, in the future. I want to encourage all of you to think about that. It's a great fun way to get more involved in anything that you participate in. And it's in many, I retired also, Harry, and didn't even know I did art until about 5 years after my retirement.
Mhm.
And it's changed my life. And many of my friends are through this organization, and it engages me and has taught me, continues to keep me engaged with life and have fun. And uh, it's, I can't ask for anything better than to get to create all the time and then have friends and sell sometimes, which is amazing, and occasionally get an award, which is very encouraging. So I just think about getting more involved as in any capacity. It's a great thing to do. Well, I've recorded this. If you need to see it again for any reason, let me know and I'll send you the link to that. But we'll close up now and thank you again so much for joining me today. It's great to get to meet you. And Harry, if you want to stay on, or if you want to, any of you want to
Yeah,
stay on, see Harry, just show us your stuff.
yeah, when you're after you stop recording, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'll stop recording. Stop recording. There we go.